What's up, champ? I'm Vince Del Monte of VinceDelMonteFitness.com, and in this video, I want to teach you the 5 advanced reasons you can't gain muscle mass. So this is really going to be geared to guys who've been training for more than 4 years consistently, but it's still going to offer a lot of value to anybody who's been training 1 to 4 years or just a year or less. I wish I had this information when I got started. When I got started, I was nicknamed Skinny Vinny. I don't know if you know my full story. I'll just give you the short version of it. But all through high school, all through university, I was a long distance runner. I excelled at triathlon, middle distance, long distance running. And I always had this fascination with building muscle because I lived with these roommates who were all jacked. These guys were super buff, and I saw this stuff that muscle did for them. They seemed to be like, those guys that the girls wanted to be with and the guys that all the guys wanted to hang out with. They were those guys. I lived with those guys. And I really wanted muscle, but I never thought it was in the cards for me. And if you can, see these pictures here of me when I was Skinny Vinny, I wasn't blessed with muscle-friendly genes. And even today, after 10 years, I still struggle to gain muscle. So I've really had to take a much more scientific, much more intelligent, much more logical approach to building muscle. And I've really transformed my body. I'm about 210, 215 most of the year, around 11, 12% body fat. And remember, I've been training naturally. I don't do things that enhance my hormones, that put me into super physiological levels that give me an advantage. So again, this is really geared to you. Let's just get right to it. Tip number 4 is really, really powerful. It's something I've really embraced the last few years. It's really gonna accelerate your results. Tip number 5 is my favorite. So don't miss that one. And we'll just get into it with one of the newer things that I've been really teaching a lot about lately. And advanced reason number 1 is training for your muscle fiber type. All right, guys, this is a really real thing. This isn't some hocus pocus, cool, marketing thing. This is legit. There's guys out there who make better gains lifting with heavier weights. And if they start lifting light weights, they shrivel up and lose their strength and they lose their size. And you probably know some of those guys. They live off of heavy weights. That's a real thing, and it's because that's how their body's built. And then there's other individuals, and you might know some of these guys too, you might be one of them, and you just excel off of higher reps, shorter rest periods, and you really are built more with endurance capabilities, and you really can excel on sets of 30, sets of 35. A lot of people say 12 to 20 reps is like high reps, but you need like 25, 30, 35 reps in a set to really see your body transform. And I'm one of those guys, so you might be more slow twitch in nature. I want you guys to understand that nobody is like just fast twitch or just slow twitch. You do have what's called outliers, like I would say marathon runners. Marathon runners are an outlier. They're like 80% slow twitch. And then you got like world-class sprinters. And those are like world-class marathon runners, not the guy that run 4 or 5 hours. I'm talking about world-class marathon runners that finish in like low 2 hours. And then those guys have a very primary muscle fiber type. And if they were to come into the gym to lift weights and they're like, I'm done running, they're gonna respond better to adapting their weight training workouts to how their body's built. As would a sprinter, a world-class sprinter, who are also outliers who have been shown to be primarily fast twitch muscle fiber type. If they're to come into the gym and they say, I'm done, I'm hanging up my spikes, I'm hitting the gym, I just want to get huge, their body is going to respond to a different kind of training style. All right, we're not talking day and night here, but we are talking about really unique changes to their rep ranges, to their rest periods, and even sometimes exercise selection. So these are things we need to consider when trying to gain muscle. And if you don't know your muscle fiber type, I've created a cool quiz. It takes you literally, I had one of my guys do it and time it for me. He said, it takes 27 seconds, Vince. It doesn't take 30 seconds, as the page says. So it'll take you literally 27 seconds to figure out what your muscle fiber type is. There's a link right above me. If you haven't done it yet, you should do it right now. There's you can watch the rest of the video, they'll come back and do it. But I've literally had over 15,000 people go through this quiz. I get tons of emails every day from guys who say, this is legit. I've tried it. I'm starting to do the thing that you've taught me to do, to work with my fiber type instead of against it, and I'm making better results. And it's easier, not like it's less painful, but the gains are coming quicker. All right, so if you're not doing that, click that link right now or at the end of the video. And if you can't click it because you're watching on your mobile, there'll be a link in the description for you to click to check your muscle fiber type. All right, so that's number one, training according to your muscle fiber type. And this really has to do with the physiology component of your workout. So this isn't mechanics, this is rep ranges, volume, intensity, frequency, this stuff, the stuff that stimulates hormones, that breaks down muscle tissue, all that kind of stuff is what needs to be tailored to your individual body type. Before we go to tip number 2, I want to tell you that this video doesn't contain anything on diet. Again, the reason I don't want to put nutrition information in this video is because I kind of got an interesting outlook on this. You have to earn what your calories and macros are. Everything you do in the gym is going to dictate your nutritional needs. Most guys train like pansies and then they're eating 300 grams of protein. You don't need that much protein if you're not even breaking down muscle tissue. You're just going to get excess calories. It's going to get converted to fat. So what you do in the gym dictates your nutritional needs, which is where everything starts. So that's why this video is focused on training. And a lot of guys say, oh, it's all diet. It's all diet. Bullshit. It's not all diet. Diet only works if you create the stimulus first, if you break the muscle tissue down. If you don't break the muscle tissue down, you don't need all those great nutrients to rebuild it. Because you didn't create any reason for it to need to adapt in the first place. So anyways, little rant, let's come back to the point number 2 here on why you can't gain muscle mass. Second reason you can't build muscle is because you're not applying phase building. And phase building is just my term for periodization. And periodization means to plan. Do you have a plan? Do you have a plan? Or are you just going to the gym winging it? A plan is predetermined before you start it, and it gives you a set of steps to follow so you achieve your end goal. All right, and we need to look at our goals in phases. All right, one step at a time. A lot of people try and do too much and then they can't concentrate on the moment. So my brand new program, No Nonsense Muscle Building 2.0, is divided up into 3 phases. It's an 18-week program, and I'm going to give you a very simplistic way to plan. And any form of planning is better than no planning, all right? So we could go like the whole world of periodization. I mean, there's been textbooks like this thick written on that subject matter, all right? And I'm not gonna get into that. So I just want you guys to ensure that you have a logical thought process to what you're doing in the gym now and why you're doing it now and what it's preparing you for next, all right? So phase 1 of No Nonsense Muscle Building is dedicated to one thing and one thing only. Gaining size. Let's just concentrate on getting bigger, adding more mass to your body, adding more clay to the sculpture, if you will. All right? And that's what the first 6 weeks is dedicated to. So when you go to the gym, all your efforts, all your concentration, everything is dedicated to getting big. Very simple. Now, if you get strong in the process, that's a bonus. Congrats. If you get a little leaner in the process, congrats. That's a bonus. But those aren't our priorities. Think about the definition of priority. Prior to everything else. I always think it's funny when people say my priorities. They've already butchered the definition of the word. Priority comes from the word prior to everything else. Prior to everything else, meaning there can be only one thing. You can't have 3 priorities. You can only have one priority. When I heard this, I'm like, man, this makes it so good. So priority 1, phase 1, get big. That's what we're going to do in phase 1. What's phase 2? Well, phase 2 is where we get strong. This is where we really change the techniques we're doing, and now we're focusing on adding weight to the bar. This is where you can train like that power lifter that adds a lot of weight to the bar. This is your opportunity now to get strong. If you gain some size in the process, it's a bonus. If you get leaner in the process, it's a bonus. If you're not getting stronger though, something is going wrong because that's your priority, all right? So that's phase 2. Well, what's phase 3? Phase 3 is where we get shredded, all right? This is where, again, we use a new technique, and in these final 6 weeks, so 6 weeks big, 6 weeks strong, now 6 weeks shredded. We're gonna get shredded now. We're gonna strip the fat off. Anything that we've gained in muscling up, we're gonna strip it off. All right, and that's our primary focus. Get lean, get lean, get lean. 'Tis the season to be lean, all right? This is the time to get shredded, to reveal all your hard work. That's the final phase. And that's an 18-week program, and that's the concept of phase building. If you're just going to the gym trying to do a bit of everything, What are you? You're the jack of all trades, master of none. You know what I mean? All right, so don't be that guy. So you want to focus on one goal at a time. Each goal builds upon the previous one, preparing you for the next. All right, let's move on to number 3. The third reason you can't gain muscle mass is because you don't understand mechanics. And this isn't something that you understand conceptually, it's something you need to be taught, and this is why this channel exists. In a lot of these videos, I show you what to think about and how to execute movement. All right, so I want you guys to understand just this really simple thing. How you do something is more important than what you do. All right, would you agree with that? Would you agree there's more value in quality versus quantity? If you do one really good set with 10 reps, is that better than 10 sets with crappy form? It is. You're gonna get more quality. You're gonna get a better return for that investment. You'd be better off doing one exercise in the gym for your biceps really well than doing 12 different biceps exercises, if there's even 12 out there, really crappy. You could live off of one really good exercise. So what I want you to do, here's just a little tip. If you're going to the gym tonight and you've got 6 exercises in your program and you're like, 3 of them I do really well with, and these other 3, I don't know if I'm doing it right, I don't know if I'm actually getting anything out of it, just dump them. Just get rid of them. Focus on those 3 exercises. Just put all your sets into those 3 exercises and just do those 3 exercises really, really well. Exercise selection is overrated. So you're better off doing one exercise well than 12 exercises crappy. All right? Because when you learn how to do a muscle exercise well, then guess what? All the rest of the stuff in your workout program to you, the intensity factor, the frequency factor, the volume factor, that stuff actually works. It actually works. But I know all these guys, they've got the worst form in the world. Some of them are pros, like they've competed in pro shows, and there's some of the guys who've got huge followings on Instagram. I've watched their technique and it sucks. It's just bad. And hey, they're getting something out of it. Their body's catching something. Their body's catching some type of contraction, but they could be bigger. They could actually be leaner. Can you believe that? So if somebody's at the top of their game with horrible form, what I think is that guy could be even better. He could be better. He's not that because he's doing it wrong. He could be better because he's not doing it right. All right? So another thing to think about, exercise, overkilling a lot of different exercises is not great for your time. You've got to focus on just the key exercises that work best for you. Remember, exercises are designed to serve you, not for you to serve the exercise. You don't need to keep changing the exercises just because it's different. Different isn't better. Doing stuff well is what's going to give you the best bang for your buck. Number 4, this is another reason you likely can't build muscle. And I'm just going to say it straight up. You're too fat. All right? And this goes for me too. I've learned this from coaches that don't, coddle you, and they just tell you the truth. I mean, if you want to get help, you need to be told the truth. You might be too fat. Your body fat's too high. Now, what's too fat? In my world of fitness, if you're over 12% body fat, you're fat. According to the rest of the world, you're not. According to me, according to experts, fitness models, they're like, this dude's over 12% body fat, he's fat. All right? If you're a female, if you're over 20, I would say over 25% body fat, 22, 25, closer to 25% body fat, I hate to cut it to you, but you're fat too. And it's okay. I learned this from Arnold Schwarzenegger. He talks about understanding and admitting when you have a weakness. If you're fat, say it. I'm fat. You're not a bad person. Just admit what the problem is. Now we can address it. All right? Now, why is this a problem if you want to gain muscle? In one of my chapters of my upcoming book, Living Large, there's a section just devoted to this one tip. And it's likely one of the most important ones. I said this is one of my favorite things I'm going to teach in the video. And this is it. Get lean to get big. Write that down. If you want to get bigger, you have to get leaner first. It's your first course of action. So if you're over 12% body fat as a male, if you can't see your 4-pack visibly in the mirror, you need to lose fat. That's your number 1 goal. Females over 25%, same thing goes for you. Until you get down to that level of leanness, your body's not going to be working in your favor. Your insulin sensitivity isn't going to be as great. Your nutrient resensitization, which is a really cool concept, isn't going to be as good. Your testosterone to estrogen ratio isn't going to be working in your favor. So there's been tons of research to support this. People who are bigger, who are overweight, have lower testosterone levels. The leaner you get, the better ratio of testosterone to estrogen. Testosterone is a hormone that's going to help you keep muscle and build muscle. Very, very important hormone you want working in your favor. And if you're bigger, you can't do that. Same thing with that concept of nutrient resensitization. Your body's going to use muscle glycogen much better for building muscle and for getting better quality workouts. So when you're leaner, you're going to have a better workout. You're going to utilize your carbohydrates for energy. You're going to use them to grow, all right? This is the biggest thing. And then there's a psychological benefit to this as well. And this may be the more powerful than the physiological things, but let me tell you, if you look in the mirror and you look lean and shredded, you're like, wow. If you don't have as much fat, say, covering your shoulders, the shoulders is a teardrop muscle. So if you've got a lot of fat around there, it's going to kind of just, it's not going to have that roundness. Now, if you started seeing your shoulders simply look more round, you can see the teardrop. You're like, crap, are those my shoulders? You're going to be what? You tell me. You're going to be pumped. You're going to be motivated. You're going to be even more meticulous with your diet because you're going to want to stay there. So when you get lean, you also learn how to manage calories and macros, and you're going to want to stay there. And when you stay there, then you're now going to just be in that state where you have more opportunity to build muscle. It's kind of like, you know, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. You know what I mean? The lean get bigger and the bigger, like fatter, get fatter because they don't have their body working in their favor. So here's the thing. If you're like trying to bulk up right now and you're already over 12% body fat, stop right now. Like, I'm dead serious. Get into maintenance and then get into a caloric deficit and start focusing on losing fat. Add some cardio, add some of my, you know, barbell complexes, one of my techniques that I teach you guys on how to lose fat faster. Start adding that in right now. All right? Cut the bulking. All right? Last one. And this is my favorite one. All right? This is going to be a bit of the mental piece. And I want you to write this down. You got to ask yourself this and be honest. Are you majoring in the minors and minoring in the majors? Are you majoring in the minors and minoring in the majors? A lot of guys are, and I'll give you guys some examples. So listen, I get guys that come to me in the gym all the time. They ask me about supplements. Supplements are easy to pick on, right? So we'll hit this. We'll throw a few punches at the supplement industry right now. A lot of people ask me, Vince, what's the best creatine? I'm like, how much did you sleep last night? And they're like, you know, you could tell they were out late last night. They're like, oh, I came home at 3 or 4. I'm like, so really, you're minoring in the majors. You're worrying about the kind of creatine you're taking when you're not even sleeping 8 hours a night. All right? You're wasting your time. It's not even going to move the needle a quarter inch. Marginal, if any, impact whatsoever, creatine, if you're not recovering with sleep and improving your hormones. That's an example of someone who's majoring in the minor and then minoring in the major. Here's the thing you need to ask yourself. Do you have the cart ahead of the horse? You know, what order of things are you attending? And what I find is most people have, again, I'm guilty of this too. I'm guilty of procrastinating on the things that will make the most impactful difference. Why? Why? Because they're harder. Getting you to measure out 4 to 6 liters of water a day is much harder than thinking about buying a pre-workout and throwing it back thinking something magical is going to happen. Going to bed at a fixed time every night and getting 8 hours of sleep is much more challenging than changing your lifestyle and saying no to your buddies and going out late and just, you know, buying the latest creatine product. You know what I'm saying? So when you really focus on the majors, a lot of the minors, you don't even need them. They're like extra if you want that edge, but they almost become like, they're not even a factor anymore. You're like, wow, why did I spend all that money in the past on those supplements when it was really just these 4 or 5 things that made a big difference? Making my food taste good, being consistent in the gym, changing my workouts, mechanics, optimizing how I do things. It's like, there's not many things that, you know, optimize your gains. All right, so this video is getting pretty long, so let me wrap this up. That's 5 things. Those are 5 reasons on why you can't gain muscle. We didn't go into detail on nutrition here today, guys, because I'll be honest, nutrition really doesn't make much of a difference if what you do in the gym sucks. If your effort in the gym is subpar, if you don't have optimal execution, if you're not fatiguing the muscle, not creating stress in the muscle, damaging the muscle, applying tension to the muscle, the nutrition stuff, like, you don't need like a great diet if you're not creating the requirement for it. Do you see what I'm saying? So anyways, Not that nutrition isn't important. Next month, I'm gonna do a whole series of videos, actually upstairs in my kitchen with my wife. We're gonna do a bunch of fun cooking videos and teach you the top foods. We're gonna show you recipes. We're gonna do a whole series of cooking nutrition videos. Those are coming, guys. In this video, as you can see, a lot of the stuff in the last months or two of videos, we're really just concentrating on what's happening inside the gym, because that's gonna dictate any of your nutritional needs. All right, nutritional needs are dictated by what happens in the gym, not the other way around. There's nothing magical about a great diet if you're not creating the demand for those nutrients and that extra protein and all that stuff, all right? So thank you so much for watching. The next step for you is to make sure you're applying tip number 1, not making that mistake, and not training according to your muscle fiber type, not working with your genes. And like I said early on, if you haven't done this yet, now's the time to take that quiz. It's a 27-second quiz which will tell you what your muscle fiber type is. All right, then I'm gonna teach you how to train for your muscle fiber type, because it's gonna be different than somebody who's not your fiber type. All right, click that link above. It'll take you to that page to start the quiz. It's really educational. I did my best to really make this something beneficial that you can apply right away. And if you're watching this on your phone, there's a link below in the description. Click that link and you can do the same quiz and you'll figure out what your muscle fiber type is and how to start training for it. Thank you so much for watching. I know that was a longer video, a lot of information. Go back and watch it and let me know what you want me to cover next. That's why I'm here. Leave your comments, questions below in the comment section, and I'll see you next time. Talk to you soon.